can I recommend the Skywell BE11? Well, after much careful consideration, the answer is...
This is the Skywell BE11. It is being hurled into one of the most popular markets in the UK, that of the electric mid-sized SUV. So it can count the likes of the Renault Scenic, Skoda Enyaq, Peugeot E3008 and others as rivals. A tall order, you'll agree, but if MG, BYD, Moda and JQ have proved, the Chinese can make some impressive cars. So the questions are, is the new Skywell BE11 one of them? Is it any good, and why would anyone buy one?
Well, I don't think it'll be because of the styling, because, well, there isn't any. It reminds me of one of those cars that they put in insurance adverts. It is completely anonymous. But design is always subjective, and you may love the plain Jane looks of the BE11. No, perhaps you're more interested in practicality. Well, the 467-litre boot is only average by class standards, and if you want to fold down the rear seats, you have to fold down the rear seat squabs first. Having said all of that though, space in the back is absolutely huge. The BE11 offers near limousine levels of rear legroom. Now, on first impressions, things seem to be pretty good. The quality all feels very solid, lots of nice squeegee plastics across the top of the dash and the doors. And the seats, they are nicely trimmed, they're piped and have Alcantara on them. But then things take a bit of a downward turn. Firstly, the steering column. Now there is lots of adjustment in and out, all very good, but up and down, not quite so much. Then there's the centre console area. Now the gear selector and the cup holders, I think, should be the other way round. It's been designed for left-hand drive cars. So when you've got a bottle or a cup in the cup holder, you tend to find yourself keep hitting it when you go for the selector or to put on the handbrake. The touchscreen infotainment is clunky, the menus are complicated, and the language used is just plain bizarre. Atmosphere lamp control, anyone? Also, there is no knob or control within the touchscreen to control the volume. There's just a button on the steering wheel. Oh, and the sat-nav system is called Turbo Dog 9. While I like the fact that the dashboard design hasn't followed seemingly every other Chinese electric car, and that's the Tesla school of minimalist design, I feel as though the Skywell BE11's dashboard is just old-fashioned. I mean, this wood trim, it feels like the kind of vinyl you put down in your bathroom. And I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put this rose chrome gold trim in here, because the sun has a knack of reflecting straight off it into your eyes when you're driving. Oh dear. Perhaps things will improve when we get this car out on the road.
There are two batteries to choose from, 72 kilowatt hours, giving a claimed range of 248 miles, and 86 kilowatt hours, like we've got here, giving a claimed 304 mile range. Not too bad, but the efficiency is nothing to write home about. I average 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour in my tests, which gives around 290 miles of range.
Now both cars get the same 201 brake horsepower electric motor, powering the front wheels, serving up 0 to 62 miles an hour in 9.6 seconds. That is slower than a Renault Scenic and a Vauxhall Grandland. But let's be sensible here. That's more than respectable for a family type of car such as this.
Now that's not to mention the throttle pedal is way too sensitive and the brake pedal is spongy, both meaning it's hard to drive the BE11 smoothly. The steering, on the other hand, is so light at low speeds that you can turn it with your little finger. That's great when parking, but it gives no feedback or feeling of confidence at higher speeds whatsoever.
Now, you would think with only 201 brake horsepower, the engineers would have been able to give this car some traction, but turn out of a sharp corner and apply the throttle, and the wheels spin up like mad. But the worst thing, the very worst thing, is the ride. Now, admittedly, around town, it's pretty good. It's comfortable even. But quicken the pace and it gets all lumpy. It tends to find all manner of lumps and bumps in the road. But turn into a corner and it rolls and it pitches. In some instances, this car has even made me feel queasy while I've been driving it.
The BE11 may have a range of up to 304 miles, but its maximum charging speed of 80 kilowatts is woeful. Remember, rivals can charge up to 175 kilowatts, so charging the BE11 at a rapid charger is going to take a long time. More worryingly though, is that the BE11 hasn't been tested by Euro NCAP for safety, and it doesn't have much safety kit as standard. Even Skywell admits it wouldn't be expecting a 5-star safety rating, while Chinese crash tests of the car gave a very concerning 1-star rating.
Now, if I'm being completely honest, this car feels like an EV from around 15 years ago. The game has moved on, and yet the BE11 hasn't moved with it, despite the fact it's a brand new car. It just feels as though it needs that last bit of engineering, that last bit of fettling, just to make it even half decent compared to its rivals. I'm just trying to work out whether there's anything good that I can say.
At this point, you'll be expecting me to say that I can look past all of this because it's cheap. Well, with the smaller battery model costing £37,000 and this, the big battery one, coming in with a price tag of just under 40 grand, it isn't cheap. Far from it. And I would bet my house and all of its contents on the BE11 losing its value more in 3 years than the competition. But it does come with a 7-year 100,000 mile warranty, which is to be applauded. But so do Kias. Not for a long time have I ever driven a brand new car that is so comprehensively poor in every area and is beaten so badly by the competition.
Right then, back to my original question. Can I recommend the Skywell BE11? Well, after much careful consideration, the answer is no. You see, the thing is, this car does nothing better than its main rivals. It also looks and feels dated, it simply doesn't drive well enough at all, and there's a huge question mark at how safe it is. And that's before you remember that this car doesn't even undercut the competition on price. So, what's the point? Also, I predict that the BE11 will soon be embarrassed by the whole swathe of new electric cars from China that are seemingly arriving here in Britain every single week. Now, to be fair, Skywell says that there's going to be a whole wave of new models wearing the Skywell badge appearing in Britain over the next few years. There is much more to come. But, judging by its first effort, I'm not holding out much hope.